What's up, everybody? It's Sean. I'm just reaching out to y'all, just to give y'all a quick update about my situation. Right now, they got me in confinement. It's just a protocol thing after Friday, but I should be out of here soon. And reaching back out to everybody. I've heard that a lot of y'all have been reaching out to my Instagram page at the official Sean G. This is my real page. This is the page that I will be, communicating to the outside world from, through my management team and stuff like that. I really appreciate all the messages and, all the comments and the likes and the shares and the donations. It means more than y'all can understand. Like, it truly means a lot in a difficult time like this. We all know that God has the last word, and I just really appreciate y'all for seeing me in a different light. Y'all will be hearing from me soon. Like I said, I just have to get out of confinement, take a couple days, but I appreciate y'all. I love every single one of y'all, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Sean Gathright speaks for the first time after receiving life in prison for Foolio's murder. When the jury delivered its guilty verdict on May 8, 2026, Sean Gathwright's fate was sealed. The then 20-year-old had been convicted of first-degree murder in the ambush killing of Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio, and with prosecutors actively seeking the death penalty, the stakes could not have been higher. What happened next surprised many people who had followed the case from the beginning. Rather than stay silent, Gathright chose to speak. During the penalty phase of the trial, Gathright became the first of the 4 convicted men to take the witness stand. He did not come to fight the verdict or challenge the evidence. He came, by his own words, to be accountable. Looking directly at the family of Charles Jones, a visibly emotional Gathright addressed the courtroom and said he was not there to dispute anything. He said he was there to be a man and take responsibility, and to express his feelings about the whole situation. He described the case as a terrible and traumatic experience, and told the jury he felt very remorseful.
I just want to address the court today, and, I'm not here to dispute anything. I'm just here to be a man and take responsibility and express my feelings about what is, this whole situation. That's what I plan on doing.
Okay. And how do you feel? What?
I feel very remorseful, This is a terrible situation. It's been a traumatic experience. To the victim's family, I want to send my deepest condolences, and I understand that it's hard losing a child, a best friend, a brother, a cousin, and for that I just cannot say sorry enough.
His words carried weight, but they also came with tears. When his sister took the stand to speak on his behalf, Gathright broke down completely, weeping openly in the courtroom as she described the brother she knew growing up. Family members painted a picture of a young man who had been smart, curious, and full of potential. His grandmother, who raised him while his parents served in the military overseas, described him as well-liked and well-traveled. His mother called him hardworking and intelligent. His former stepfather spoke of a boy who loved football, basketball, and learning. The defense leaned heavily on these details, arguing that Gathright had a relatively stable upbringing, strong family ties, and no prior criminal record before becoming entangled in the gang conflict that led to Foolio's death. His attorneys asked the jury to consider life imprisonment rather than execution, pointing to his age, his background, and what they described as genuine rehabilitation while incarcerated. Gathright himself supported that claim on the stand. He told the court that during his time behind bars, he had devoted himself to religion, spending his days reading the Bible, attending Christian study groups, participating in prayer circles, and mentoring fellow inmates. He said he had spent significant time reflecting on his life and the choices that brought him to that courtroom. He expressed a desire to help younger people avoid the same path, and acknowledged that he would likely spend the rest of his life in prison. He also spoke directly to the grief of Foolio's family. He said he wanted to offer his deepest condolences, that he understood how hard it is to lose a child, a best friend, a brother, a cousin, and that he simply could not say sorry enough. The prosecution was not moved. During cross-examination, Assistant State Attorney Scott Harmon pressed Gathright hard, asking him how remorseful he truly felt while fleeing the scene of the shooting with what prosecutors described as a warm assault rifle in his hands. The state had argued throughout the trial that the killing of Charles Jones was cold, calculated, and premeditated, and that Gathright and his co-defendants had traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa with one purpose: to hunt down and kill the rapper. Prosecutors pointed to DNA evidence linking Gathright to a rifle used in the attack, surveillance footage of the group tracking Foolio across multiple Tampa locations, and text messages coordinating the assault in the days leading up to his birthday. In the end, the jury spared all 4 men from the death penalty. On May 15, 2026, jurors recommended life in prison without the possibility of parole for Gathright, Isaiah Chance, Rashad Murphy, and Davian Murphy. Official sentencing was scheduled for June 22nd. In the days following the sentencing recommendation, a GoFundMe campaign appeared online on behalf of Gathright, seeking funds for legal representation, appeals, and other expenses. The fundraiser argued that Gathright had no history of violent behavior before this case and deserved a second chance at redemption. The response online was largely unsympathetic, with many people pointing out the severity of the crime and the finality of the sentence. Sean Gathright was 18 years old when Julio Foolio was killed. He was 20 when he stood before a Tampa jury, wept, and asked for his life. He will now spend that life inside a prison cell, with the weight of what happened outside a Tampa hotel in the early morning hours of June 23, 2024, following him for every day that remains.
And Sean Gathright asking for donations when you know you about to do life in prison is crazy. That is insane. Because listen, I told y'all last week he is one of the 4 who got sentenced to life in prison for the unaliving of Julio Foolio. I'll say this, like I said, I felt bad because these young men threw their life away, especially for the fact that he was the youngest of them all, and it seemed like he had a good upbringing. I don't know how he got caught up in this, but also y'all made that choice and that decision for what? I don't know why. I don't know what y'all get from doing that. Street cred, maybe, but your street is not gonna hold you down after you in prison. And you asking the people who work hard day and night, okay, working day and night, to donate to you, to pay for your family legal fees and you being there? No, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but you chose that. You chose this route. So you got to go down this route. I mean, like, say a prayer for you. Say a prayer for you, your family, and the other 4. But also, like I said, y'all did take a life. I feel bad for everybody involved. There's no winners. There's no winners. So, yeah, I'm sorry.